Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to the videos of the paid requests. This time from Mike, OCP Communications. Thank you so much, my friend. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commenters, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. And this is for Elves. And this movie fucking sucks. This movie's fucking awful. Holy jumping Jupiter Jim Jesus. I mean, you start with a group of ladies who say that they're the sisters of anti-Christmas. And they're mad about the corporate structure of Christmas. So they have these candles, and one of them accidentally break it and make their hand bleed. And by doing that, into the ground, an elf comes out. Now, granted, it's called Elves. There's only one elf. And it doesn't really look like an elf. It looks like, you know those creatures in The Gate? Those tiny little fuckers? If that was mixed in with the It's Alive baby, that's kind of what it looks like. It looks fucking goofy. And you tell they could barely get it to move. It's like, but your potato head. So while I was off galloping around, one of the ladies comes home and has, for some reason, the most psychotic mother in film fucking history. Like, this woman is psychotic, just, you know what? You went in your grandpa's study and you took one of his books. Your savings account is history. I'd be like, what the fuck? You literally want to steal the lady's money? And then she has a brother, sadly enough, wearing a Ninja Turtles outfit, like a pajamas of the. Like, why did Ninja Turtles have to be in this fucking movie, man? Don't fucking do that. Get my Ninja Turtles out of this goddamn movie. And it's with a kid who's a fucking sicko pervert who watches his sister get naked and says, "You got big fucking tits. I'm gonna tell everyone I saw them." And she's like, "I'm your fucking sister." And I'm sitting there go, "Kid, have a coconut smile, shut the fuck up, sit down, think for a minute, and don't tell your friends that you watched your sister naked. And she got some big titties." You don't want to do that. Trust in the structure of your brain cells, apparently polluting whatever the fuck are left in them, thinking I should brag that I saw it. Because the kids are going to say, "Why you want to fuck your sister so much? You're a sexual pervert." It's just such a weird fucking thing to be introduced to. I just see people watching this and it's so bad it's good and laughing at it. Granted, I don't. I just think it sucks. But I can see what people's thought process. I can understand that. There's a lot of weird shit in this movie. Like that alone, the shit I've talked about for 4 minutes. And then when the creature at times, you see his point of view, it's blurry, like someone put Vaseline. Probably the Vaseline the people who made this put up their ass. Too busy looking at the script or the direction or the plot or anything else between. We need to see how much Vaseline we could put up our fucking keister. Dan Haggerty, may he rest in peace, Grizzly Adams himself, completely miscast as the most soft-spoken cop in fucking history. Each dialogue is, "Oh, hey, how's it going? I know. I mean, that's pretty awful, but things gonna be okay. Things will be alright. Things gonna be fine. I mean, you know, I've been having bad times too. It'll be okay. It's coming the Christmas season." Like, that's how he speaks, and it's just... It's so fucking... It's such a miscasting. Or the director, why didn't you see this and go, "Mr. Haggerty, could you speak a bit louder and not as soft-spoken?" Other weird and okay, he plays a guy who was a cop, but he had alcohol problems, so he's no longer a cop. He's not even a mall cop. He's trying to find a job. Eventually, he does get a job being Santa at this mall. But before that, there's another Santa who a woman sits on his lap and he's like, Santa said oral, and starts fucking fondling the lady. So of course she gets pissed off. Oh, the night before, the kid saw the elf and got scratched. The mom thinks it was the cat, her daughter's cat. So she takes the cat, put it in a sack. We cut to the next scene where it's supposed to be the cat is in this bag, and she drowns it in the toilet. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this movie? That's a bit extreme. Although you find out just how fucked up she is, so I guess it made sense for her. Just let me jump ahead. You find out that the mom and the grandpa fucked, because the grandpa fucked his daughter. So the grandpa is our lead character's dad, because the grandpa had sex with his own daughter, which is her mom. And the reason he did that is to create you, our lead character, because the elf is supposed to have sex with you because you don't give birth to the master race, because the goddamn Nazis want that shit, and maybe has some genetic experiment or whatever the hell. They have an elf to create a fucking army of elves. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this movie? What the fuck is this movie, man? Jesus Christ. What? This fucking movie. This fucking movie, man. Jesus Christ. You know, people think murder by phone is ridiculous. And this isn't? Shit. I also find funny there's a bit where when that Santa pervert gets up and walks away, obviously because he's a fucking pervert and people are calling him out on it, the elf is walking behind him in the store and no one fucking notices. So then the guy's like somewhere doing cocaine, of course. It's the 80s, gotta be cocaine. And the elf, I guess, claws his dick. I think we hear from dialogue, it cut his dick off. What did it do? Eat it? I mean, he is a little cocksucker, so maybe it did. Oh yeah, there's literally the line, when there's no more room in hell, the elves will walk the earth. I wonder if Ken Frey had ever seen. Hey, Ken, it's like, hey, Ken Frey, love you and Dawn of the Dead. You ever see this movie? Remember that line you said in Dawn of the Dead? Someone kind of stole it and replaced it with elves. So yeah, that guy gets killed, and the lead girl and some of her friends, they break to the mall to party. Dan Haggerty is there because now he's the new Santa. He lets the girls have fun there. The Nazis are there to, I guess, get the girl or whatever. And you either have the elf killing one or two people, or you get a shootout. Because the Nazis believed in elves. And to made and produce the master. Like I said, you do the. I just see why people would enjoy this in a ridiculous fashion. I mean, Dan Haggerty has to break into a guy's home during Christmas, and it's like, tell me about the elves. Were the elves created by the Nazis? And Dan Haggerty has to say this shit with a straight face and a very soft, soft voice. Did the Nazis create the elves? Are they trying to create a master race? And you're like, Jesus Christ. The movie looks like it was shot, again, a lot of it in Vaseline. If you look at the VHS, maybe it'd be part Vaseline. The production values seem very lackluster in terms of the cinematography, all that shit. The bitchy mom gets fried in the tub, which I thought was way too lenient for how much of a bitch she was. Should be like a bigger, grander death. Then the lead finds out what happened with between her mom and her grandpa. And her grandpa's her dad. I'm sure her brother is her cousin, and she's a transmoglodyte and fucking transsexual Tyrannosaurus from Transsexual Rex. I'm going crazy. Oh, the God. Was about mine. Sometimes you watch. I'm sorry. I got very loopy. It is these. Sorry, fucking. Okay, let me calm down a bit. Shit. So at the end of the movie, they bad guys come in, and Dan Haggerty fights some of them. They kill the grandpa. This weird bit where Dan hits one guy, he's beating another guy. The other guy grabs a gun. Does Dan too shitty of a cop to grab the gun before him? Dan looks. The guy does this, and Dan goes, but there's no gunshot. There's no gunshot sound. There's no gunshot noise. Unless it was the copy I saw, that for some reason had that mistake, you don't hear a fucking gunshot. And the way he aimed looked like he would shoot him in the head. And then later on, the kid comes back, and Dan Haggerty's like hurt. Go get your sister. Now, I don't know if Dan Haggerty dies in the movie or not. That's how shitty this movie is. One of your main characters, you don't even know if he died or not. There's no moment where he falls and he dies and he doesn't move, or he's fighting with the elf and, hey, come on, you know. No, none of that. And in fact, there's no moment that Dan Haggerty never fights the elf. I mean, you don't know if he fucking dies or not. The last time we see him is he's wounded, but he's breathing. So it makes you think that maybe he's still alive, but I don't know. The brother goes to his sister. The sister's just lying there while this slow ass elf is just fondling her. I guess if an elf fondles you, it can make you pregnant, maybe. Usually penetration's involved. I guess not. And she's not going anywhere. She's not. Well, I guess she was knocked out maybe for. Was she knocked out for a little bit? Maybe. But she didn't put up much of a fucking fight. And then something the grandpa gave her, she smashed it, and then the elf, which they said there's no way they could die. But apparently that's bullshit because he's dying now from this thing. And the sister's hugging her brother. Then you cut to the end credits, but during the end credits, there's a baby fetus. So I guess to imply that she's pregnant. Which you would think once she get checked out and find out she's pregnant, and then now that they know the plot, just abort the fetus, and it's be that big. Put it in a fucking vase. Put it in a fucking safe. Put it at the bottom of a fucking ocean, or put it in a volcano or something. Seems like it wouldn't be that hard to do. So I guess she's pregnant because of that, and I guess I did. Dan Haggerty, is he alive? Is he dead? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. This is an awful fucking movie, man. This is awful. It's badly acted. Shit doesn't make sense. It is a ridiculous plot. It's poorly filmed. Gunshots that have no fucking sound effects. There's barely a body count. The elf doesn't do a whole lot because it couldn't do a whole fucking lot. It looks so goofy, stupid, and ridiculous. The elf puppet on that sitcom is scarier than this fucking thing. Dan Haggerty is completely miscast. This fucking movie blows. Every jingle, it blows every reindeer in Santa's fucking sleigh. This is one of the movies that every reindeer could go buff fuck it all 31 days of Christmas. A different reindeer just buff fuck it. Or one take the mob, one take the teaster. Rudolph to shove his red nose up its ass till it goes across his fucking mouth like a flashlight. Fuck this movie, man. This piece of shit. Fucking sucks. But this, I can understand. I like Silent Night, Deadly Night too. That's a bad movie, but I find that funny. Some people find this funny. That's cool to each their own. To me, I'm like, this fucking dog shit. We'll see you later. Bye bye for now.